back in Madison and then in LA, and we
Kentucky Fried Beer.
In Kentucky Fried Beer.
And Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah, and so that gave us confidence, although we didn't have the confidence to direct yet. We had never been on a movie set, but we watched John Landis, and we saw what he did, and we learned from John Landis. And so then we knew that we could direct it, especially with a cabin full of people, rows of seats facing forward, and then a cockpit. There's not much blocking and moving the camera around.
When we first got together, it was kind of on a lark because David and Jerry had access to some video equipment. And so we got together and just started filming spoofs of commercials and popular TV movies from that era, from the late 60s and early 70s, and just to have fun. But eventually we started to show them friends and family, and they laughed. And so we thought, oh, this is cool. Maybe we can open a theater in Madison, Wisconsin, and show it to them. So we really had years and years of filming and showing stuff in front of an audience before we got to our own set. And I think that's what led to a lot of our confidence.
I knew Robert Evans very well, and he had said to me, because the kid that stays in the picture had been rejected by Simon & Schuster, the Paramount book label, and he called me up out of the blue and he said, kid, I want you to have a quote on the back of the book jacket, and I'm in there with like Faye Dunaway and Jack Nicholson and David Brown, all these great people, and I'm like, I don't belong in this thing. And he told me this story about, because I had gotten hold of the galleys for his book, and I have written a lot of the anecdotes, and as I'm pulling anecdotes out of you guys, and my conclusion was, this was back in Variety, I did a whole column, and I said, well, look, the only reason they rejected this book is they didn't want him telling the Paramount story, because this is just fabulous. And then Evans told me later that Mike Eisner read it and called him up, and he said, look, I want you to give me a galley for me and one for my wife. We're going away this weekend. And by that Monday, Evans had a deal with Hyperion. And Eisner is a very interesting guy. You would not have thought of him as somebody like that. But talk about how important he was in making your brand of humor and airplane acceptable to a studio where you had guys like Don Simpson saying, this is a piece of shit. No offense.
He only said that, Simpson, between doing lines.
I thought you were going to say Simpson only said that after he saw the movie. So
yeah,
No, long before.
he saw it before. Yeah. He saw it after he read the script and after he saw the film.
Yeah,
While doing lines.
Yeah, Eisner was great. I mean, we owe our careers to Michael. He heard the concept, and from someone who had read it, a reader at UA, Susan Beerwald, and he said, got on the phone to Katzenberg to track it down, and he read it, and he just, I don't know, it's a comedy in an airplane or the jokes of the movie. I don't think anybody understood the casting, but he did us a number of favors, one of which was we were originally wanted to shoot the movie in black and white on a prop plane, because that was 0 hour. That's how we saw it. And he said, no, if you do it at the studio, it's got to be a jet plane in present day in color. And we said, all right, and that was the best thing he ever could have done for us. But also just he ran the studio and he believed in it and believed in us directing it, and that was enormous because every other studio had turned it down.
One of the coolest things that has happened in the last couple of weeks since the book has been published is that David, out of gratitude, went to Eisner's office and gave Eisner a copy of the book in person. And they sat and they chatted for a while. David, why don't you talk about it?
Well, I think out of all the people in our whole career, I mean, I don't think we would have done this, had this, the life that we had without Michael Eisner, and because every other studio turned it down, and it hung by a thread, and Michael Eisner, for some reason, thought, well, this is a good idea, and, and after 43 years, I never felt that we really expressed enough gratitude at the time, and that's why I wanted to go. I had dreamed about this for 2 years, actually going to his office and giving him a sign. We signed the book for him, and he asked me, so are you going around personally delivering the book to everyone? I said, no, you're the only one, and it's true. He's the only one that I crossed the 405 for him. So this was, so happy about this.
You put it way out there. It's incredibly execution dependent. When you look back on this movie, from the casting to the jokes, they were grounded in familiarity. Anyone who had been through LAX at that time knew exactly what you were writing about. And even to the PA couple that's obviously having marital problems, where did you get that confidence, would you say? And what was the biggest impediment for you to being that confident to do what you guys did?
One of the reasons we have.
If you want to send some stuff to me so I can check out what you have sent, please send it to this exact address. However, you may only send some stuff that I am interested in. No airplane, okay? Because if you send something like this, I will make sure that I will tell you that I do not like this film at all. Unless if you would send me that Zucker Abraham Zucker 3 film collection set that I'm gonna get for top secret, well, you can probably tell that I'm not gonna get it for Airplane, I'm not gonna get it for Naked Gun, I'm only getting it just for top secret. However, I do think that you should send the set as a whole because, let's face it, it's a big deal. So make sure you send stuff like this, or this, or this, or this. And yes, even Airplane 2 the sequel. Oh, and get this, a special collector's edition of Twister, complete with a steelbook that features not only the secondary poster artwork, but the image of the pipe scene on the back. Heck yeah, I'm getting this. Well, actually, we do have the double feature set, which consists of Twister and Twister, so we're pretty dang close. And also Airplane 2 the sequel, which had this cover. Just look at those nuts! I can't keep up with them all! And even the one in the original theatrical poster! Like, look at it! And just look at this poster for the worst film of all time! Come on, do they really need to tie that plane up into another? That part never actually happened in the film! They clearly just used a toy model plane! Like, come on, really? And yes, this is what the plane actually looks like in the film. And here's another image of that same goddamn plane model, also from the film. God damn it, I hate this film. And its different titles, like this one known as Flying High, but I would refer to the film with this title. I just hated it so much. So make sure you send in to this address, and I hope to God I will look at them. And in the words of the good old immortal named Connor McLeod,
there can be only one.
If you came to party, make some noise.